Right now on News 4 at 10, Target evacuated, why shoppers had to leave the Walden Avenue store and what police found inside.
And a few spotty showers on a mostly quiet night across western New York. We're tracking just a few spotty showers for your Mother's Day, and then a big warm up on the way this week coming up in your 4-1 forecast.
Plus, making medical marijuana more accessible for those with PTSD, what the next steps are for the bill that would allow it. Good evening, everyone. We are following developing news in Cheektowaga. The Target on Walden Avenue was evacuated after a bomb threat was called in earlier this evening. Assistant Chief Jim Spire tells us police got the call around 6:45. Officers found a suspicious package inside the battery recycling bin in the store. Spire tells us the Erie County Sheriff's Office bomb squad was called in as a precaution, and deputies x-rayed the package. Now, police believe this was a hoax, and there are no suspects at this time. The Target store tells us it has reopened. It has been a violent 24 hours in the city of Buffalo. There have been 4 shootings. 2 were deadly, and this evening there was a stabbing. The stabbing happened just after 6 o'clock tonight at the intersection of South Division and Ellicott Street downtown. Officials tell us a witness ran into the bus terminal to ask for help. NFTA police came out to help the victim, who is a man in his 20s. According to officials, he was stabbed once in the back and is stable tonight at ECMC. The attacker has not been found. This is still under investigation. Meanwhile, Buffalo police are investigating 4 shootings that happened within hours of one another. The violence started around 7 o'clock last night and continued until 1:30 this morning. 2 people were killed and 1 person is in critical condition tonight. The first shooting happened on Buffalo's east side at about 6:45 last night. Police say that's when a 23-year-old man was shot on Stevens Avenue. He died at ECMC. Police have not yet released his name. About 3 hours later, around 10 last night, detectives say a 26-year-old man was shot on East Street. He has non-life-threatening injuries. Then around 11:30 last night, police say a 49-year-old man from Williamsville was found dead from a gunshot wound inside a car on East Delavan. Then this morning, around 1:30 near Niagara and Gray Street, investigators say a 26-year-old man was shot during an attempted robbery. He is in critical condition tonight. The coordinator for Buffalo Peacemakers, Pastor James Giles, says he does not see the violence letting up.
A lot of them are related to incidental reactionary responses to something going on between 2 people. So it's not gang warfare per se. Even the shootings that we recently had, what happened between 2 individuals, they had a disagreement, one of them comes back and takes his life.
Buffalo police have not made any arrests in any of these shootings, but if you have information, you should call police at 847-2255. State lawmakers are getting closer to opening up access for medical marijuana coverage to those suffering from PTSD. Last week, the state assembly approved new legislation, and this week it advanced in the Senate. News 4's Rachel Monjovi has details about the bill. Rachel?
Yeah, Callan, currently there are 29 states that have medical marijuana. 26 are approved to treat PTSD as a qualifying condition. If the governor signs the bill, New York State will be added to that list. But as experts tell me, there's still some unfinished research. Medical marijuana may soon treat hundreds of thousands of new patients in New York State. New legislation would add post-traumatic stress disorder to the list of qualifying conditions for the state's medical marijuana program.
So we have a lot of veterans who are not being treated adequately. So medical marijuana, which is in essence a natural way to treat post-traumatic stress disorder.
More than 17,000 people receive medical marijuana in New York State. It's used to treat serious illnesses like cancer, Lou Gehrig's disease, and most recently, chronic pain. Under this new bill, veterans and anyone suffering from PTSD would be able to use medical marijuana as treatment.
Medical marijuana has 2 components, THC and CBD. The CBD component helps with sleeping, helps with anxiety, helps individuals react to stress.
Dr. Laszlo Metchler of the Dent Cannabis Clinic says while the bill is a good step, research is still underway and could take years to see the results.
I would say this is the best option for now, but I have no proof of that. Just because I've seen patients who swear by it is not enough. So you're right, the research has to be done.
Roger Woodworth has been diagnosed with PTSD for nearly 10 years. He developed it while fighting in Iraq. He says he's for the drug if research proves it's safe and effective.
I think we need to do our due diligence with any medical or clinical treatment and look into it. But if it benefits vets or those with PTSD, then it's something we should certainly explore. Personally, I don't think there's a cure for PTSD.
900 doctors are certified in the state to prescribe medical marijuana. Dr. Metchler says that's not nearly enough. He says there's a backlog of patients. Since chronic pain was added in March, he has more than 700 patients waiting to see him. Reporting live, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 10.
Thank you, Rachel. Also happening, Uber and Lyft could start operating in Buffalo sooner than expected if a bill passes in Albany. The new legislation would let ride-sharing services start picking up passengers on June 29th. Right now, it's not allowed until July 9th. Lawmakers approved ride-sharing for upstate cities earlier this year. Supporters of the earlier June date say it would help reduce drunk driving on July 4th. Still to come at 10, a hostage situation at a hospital near Chicago, how an inmate was able to take an employee hostage, and how it all came to an end. Plus, finding a new FBI director, we'll tell you about the candidates who could replace former director James Comey.
And I'm keeping an eye on a few spotty showers out there tonight, mostly dry across western New York. We'll talk about the shower potential for your Mother's Day Sunday and what the temperatures are looking like this week, coming right up.